Okay, everyone, we are doing the Upload Vulnerabilities room on TryHackMe today. There's a lot going on in this lab. There's a lot of different tasks and steps for it, so let's just jump right in. First thing that we want to do, make sure that you have your machine that is started, and when it is up and running, you should see an IP address right here in this section, and so we need to do some kind of preliminary setup of the box for this to work. So what we need to do is you need to copy this entire code right here, and again I'm just going to use the transfer clipboard function on the attack box so that I can go right here and then right click and paste it in, hit enter. And so what this is going to do, it's going to associate these different mock websites with the IP address of our machine. So you need to make sure that you have that up and running in the background before you start this. And then this is especially important if you're using your own Kali box, you need to, or your own Linux box, you need to at the end revert the changes back to what they normally should be by putting in this code at the end. So I'll make sure to do that as well, just so you don't screw up your own box. So now let's get started. You should be doing the background reading. Read it very carefully. I didn't read it very carefully on the first time, and I had some problems doing this module, and I wouldn't have had it if I had just read more carefully. So read through this, question done when you're done, the general methodology. We're going to be using GoBuster, so you're going to make sure that you want to have this installed on your machine if you're not using the attack box. So let's go down to learning about overwriting files. And so task number 4, we're going to overwrite a file on another website. So let's go on and do that right now. So the first thing that they want us to do is we're going to go to this website right here. So I'm just going to click on my browser, let that open up for us. It's being a little slow. Okay, so I'm going to go to overwrite.uploadvulns.thm, hit enter. Because it's doing this kind of relay to a website, it does this weird thing where it shows you a Google search, but you'll notice right here it says, did you mean to go to that website? And you want to say yes, take me to it right there. And so now we're at the website. I'm just going to resize these things so that we can see everything on the same page. If I can get myself to do it. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Let's just get this a little bit smaller. These websites are very simple, so I find that you could make them really as small as you need them to be and get your work done. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do, it's asking us what is the name of the image file which can be overwritten. So we're at a new website, so what should we do? We should try to poke around and see what's going on here. So I'm just going to right click in this area and I'm going to go to view page source. And so we're looking at the page source. This is file overwrite, and it looks like this right here, images.mountains.jpg is the one that we're going to try to overwrite. So mountains.jpg. And now it's asking us to overwrite the image. What is the flag you receive? So what this is doing is all websites should, when they're taking in new files, they should be appending them the name at the end. So they should put something, a common thing is to put the date and the timestamp at the end of the file so that you don't overwrite this image that's saved on this file. And so that's what we're going to do. So to do this file, we need to do this module. What we need to do is we need to get our own image that we're going to call the exact same thing, and we're going to upload it, and it's going to overwrite this file. And okay, so let's get started on uploading an alternative file. So I'm just going to go to Google, and I'm just going to search for a picture of a mountain. I agree. I'm just going to take the first one that I find. And I'm just going to right click on it. I'm going to save the image as. Oh, that one's not letting me. That's not a JPEG. Let's see this one. Save the image as. This one's a JPEG. So I'm going to save it exactly the same name as the one that we're going to overwrite. and I just saved it to my download folder. So now I'm going to go back to this page. I'm going to go to select file. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and there it is, mountains.jpg. I'm going to open it, so I've chosen it, and now I'm going to click upload, and well done. You overwrote the file, and it gives us the flag right here. All right, so after you've pasted your flag back into that section, let's go on to task number 5, which is remote code execution. So this is telling how basically we're going to, first we're going to use GoBuster because we need to find out where files are saved onto the next website, and we need to find the directories that they are in. And then the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to actually upload a reverse shell. So this time, instead of uploading a JPEG, we're going to upload a PHP reverse web shell. And we're going to put a listener on to see what the reverse shell is doing, and we're going to be able to capture our flag in that manner. So let's get started on this. First things first, we want to get GoBuster running. Okay. So we want to do a GoBuster directory scan. We're going to use the URL of the website that they want us to use, and on this one, let's see where we should be going. Let's go to this website right now first. So in this task, we're going to shell.upload.vulns.thm. Again, we need to click yes, take me to the actual website. Let me close these from the last two. So this is the next one that we are exploiting. So I want to find different directories for this website. So I'm going to go shell.upload.vulns.thm. And then you can go up here and you can see exactly what we need to type. And the word list that we're going to be checking against, it's saved in if you're using the attack box. And even if you have your own Kali box and you have downloaded the seclist folders, they should be probably put in the same section. But you would need to check on your machine where you've actually saved the file that you're going to be using to compare. List.2.3 and medium.txt. So we're going to have this GoBuster scan just running in the background, and it's already found resources and assets. So let's just poke around and see what's in the resources folder here. Okay, so we actually do have access to this folder, but there's nothing in it right now. Let's go back. Let's just select a file and see what happens. I'm going to go to downloads, going to choose the same mountain because I just want to see if it shows up if I'm first able to upload. So I was able to upload something, and now let's go back to that resources folder and see if what we are uploading is actually going to this place. So we see it right here. So everything that we upload comes to this folder that we have found with the GoBuster scan. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a reverse shell, and we are going to try to upload it. So inside here, I'm just going to do a quick Google search, and one that is really good is by Pentest Monkey, and it's a reverse shell in PHP. Okay. I'm just going to go to this first one right here, and I'm going to click on it. And so this is the code that we need. So I'm going to copy all of this. And there's other ways to do this, but this is just kind of like a really straightforward way that I'm going to show you. Just highlight it all. And I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to find some kind of a text editor. I'm going to use Sublime Text on the attack box and just going to paste. There we go. And so the thing that you need to do is you need to modify your reverse shell coding for where you're going to be listening to. So let's see, right here where it says change this. So what you want to do is you want to have the IP address of your attack box, not the machine that you're using, but this is where you want to go the information from the website. So the website is at this IP address, and you want to reverse shell back to your IP address. So you need to put in this IP address right there, or the IP address of whatever machine that you're using. So I'm going to put in mine right there. 10.10.208.64 is mine. And then you want to change the port number that you want to listen to it on. I mean, this is really up to your discretion. John Hammond likes to use 999, so I'm just kind of using 999. So I'm going to save this as, I'm going to put it in my downloads folder just so that it's easy to find. And I'm going to call this my reverse shell.php. Okay, so that's saved in there. So let's see if we can upload this to the website. So let me close this. Let me go back to the main site. I'm going to select the file. I'm going to select the reverse shell, open. So it's chosen. Now I'm going to upload it, and the file was uploaded successfully. So this is a very vulnerable website. We shouldn't be able to do this. They should have filters in place, but they are showing us what happens when you have a vulnerable website. So I'm just going to go to the resources tab again, and look right there, we see our reverse shell. So before we open it, we want to get a listener going on this. And so in the directions, again, they show you how to start a listener. And there we go. So we're going to do a netcat listener right there. So I'm going to start another terminal. And I'm going to do netcat listener. And we're going to put LVNP, and then we're going to put the port that we chose in our PHP coding. Remember, I chose 9999, and you would put there whatever you chose. And I'm going to get that started. So why do I put 2 dashes. Sorry about that, guys. So NC-LVNP, get it on port 999. And so it is listening. So let me pull this down here so you can see what happens. So as soon as I click on this, watch what happens in the netcat listener. And we are connected. So now that we are in, we are going to poke around and see if we can find our flag. So we're in, we can go, who am I? Shows you where we are. We can go to, let's do a list. Those are all the different directories. And so let's see about the flag. They're telling us where to go to get the flag. They're telling us to go to the var-www folder. So let's just change directories to the var/www folder. We're in, so let's list what's there, and we see the flag right there. So we go cat and flag.txt to concatenate the file and see the contents, and we have our flag right there. So there you go. That was task number 5. Let's move on to task number 6. So in task number 7, bypass client-side filtering. Actually, we didn't go over task number 6, the answers to the questions. So this is a reading comprehension task. You just need to read all this. It's very important that you do this to understand what's going to be happening in the next tasks. Again, I didn't read this very carefully, and so it was a little bit harder for me to do this module than it should have been. So I highly recommend that you really read through this and you really study it, and then we'll answer the questions. What is the traditionally predominant server-side scripting language? That would be PHP. When validating by file extension, what would you call a list of accepted exceptions? And that would be a whitelist. And then this, they want you to do your own research. What MIME type would you expect to see when uploading a CSV file? So I just Googled MIME types, and I found that and then I found a chart on Wikipedia, and I found the CSV file row, and it said that what you would type is text.csv. So let's go on to task number 7. This is bypassing client-side filters. So again, you want to read through all of this, because one thing that you're going to want to understand, at least for task number 7, is the difference between inline source code and a filter that it is actually linked to it. So this is an example of inline JavaScript. So if we go to the source code of a page, we see the HTML, and inside these script brackets, there is a JavaScript program that runs actually on the main HTML page. And those are really easy to bypass, because all you would do in burp is intercept the page and then delete this out and let the page go through. And then you'd be able to bypass the filter. But we're going to actually be seeing something a little bit different in this task. We're going to be seeing something where it actually links to it. So we're going to just get to that in this next section. Okay, so I already have a GoBuster up and ready to go. But first, let's get over to the website. The one that we're doing on this task is java.uploadvulns.thm. Again, it's relaying, so you need to click this, yes, take me to that website. Let me make this just a little bit bigger for us. So let's poke around, look at the source code, and see what kind of a filter that we have on this page. So we see right here that it is actually linked to a JavaScript file. It's not inline, it's actually linked. So let's click on this and let's see what kind of a filter this is. And we see right here that it is filtering to only allow PNGs, PNG files. So let's see if that works. I'm going to create a PNG file and let's see what happens. Let me go to my downloads folder, and I have my reverse shell right here. And let me just and let me just, this time I'll just copy it to my desktop. Let me go back to my desktop, and I'm going to rename it as a PNG file, and let's see if it gets past this type of filter. There's other type of filters that this wouldn't work, and we're going to be doing that later on in this module, but let's see if it works for this one. So let me go back to the website. I'm going to select a file. I'm going to select the PNG file and upload it, and it says that it chose it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload it, and it says file successfully uploaded. So let's see what happens if we actually try the PHP file. I'm going to go to select files. I'm going to go to where I saved it, which is my downloads folder, and I'm going to upload the PHP file. And it says invalid file type. Nothing actually went through. This website didn't have to go anywhere. It's already loaded that that filter onto this website because it's client side. It doesn't have to go to the server to do this filtering, and so we weren't even able to upload it. So that's what we want to disable right now. So to get that going, we want to go up here and get the GoBuster scan going, because we need to find out where these files are actually saved to. I see an images folder right away and an assets folder. So let's go poke on over to images, and let's see if, because it is wanting to upload a PNG file, which is an image file, I'm guessing that that's where they put it. So let's just go there, and we see right there that the shell is right there. And if I click on it, it won't load it because it's not named correctly. So let's just go back. I'm going to go back to the main page. Okay, so we have GoBuster running. We probably won't need it anymore because we found it. So I'm just going to turn this off. I'll leave it up for a second so you guys can see. We just went to GoBuster dir directory scan -u java uploads.thm -w user share word lists dirbuster directory -list -2.3 medium.txt, and they gave that up above in previous tasks if you are unable to read it on my screen. So I'm just going to, I think I can just do Control-C and end it. There we go. And I'm going to clear it out because I'm going to get a netcat listener going and get ready. And then I always use port 999. Again, this number is in the PHP file that you're going to be using for your reverse shell. So if I go into my reverse shell, you want to make sure that you have updated it with the current IP address of whatever attack box that you're using. You choose the port that you want to listen on. I choose 9999 because John Hammond, I see he does that a lot, and I'm just a copycat. So let's get out of here. So I've got that ready, but first we want to do some Burp Suite kind of stuff. So I'm going to turn on Foxy Proxy so I can use Burp. And if you don't have this, you're going to need to install it. By this point in the complete beginner's learning path, you probably should have already had this by now. So I'm going to turn on the Burp Intercept. I'm going to open up Burp. Okay, once I have Burp open, I'm going to head over to Proxy. I'm going to make sure that the intercept is on. Then I'm going to go back to my web page, and this is very important. It doesn't automatically, when you refresh the page this way, it doesn't automatically resend JavaScripts. So it's very important that to refresh the page, you push Control F5. So that's running. Let's go back over to Burp. This is the upload page. I want to go to right click and do intercept response to this request. And then I'm going to forward it through. Again, this is the, it's trying to load the java.uploads main page. That's the one that we want to intercept. So I'm going to forward it through, and it shows us the HTML of that website from the server, and it shows the client-side filter right here. You just want to highlight it and delete it. Take that filter out of there, and then forward it through. And then this one is just the fonts. To get the fonts for the page, you can just forward that through, and then we should have the page. So now that filter should be gone. So if we go over to select file, we should be able to choose our PHP reverse shell, and then we should be able to click, and I'm going to turn off the proxy right now, and we should be able to upload it. And it says that the file was successfully uploaded. So now if I go over to that images folder, we see our reverse shell right there. So before I click on it, I want to get the Netcat listener running. So NC-LVNP, and then whatever port you put in the actual code of your reverse shell. Mine's 9999, and I'm going to hit enter. So now it's listening on that port. And so now if I go over and I click on the reverse shell, I see that it's actually listening right here. And it looks like the intercept is still on. Well, we're in. So we're in. Let's make sure, what does it want us to go to? So let me scroll down to the instructions, and I think they still want us to go to the var/www folder. So yeah, they want us to go to var-www. So let me just change directories now that I'm in to /var/www. Hit enter, I'm in, list, we see the flag, cat, flag.txt, and we have our flag right there. So that wasn't too difficult. Now let's move on to bypassing server-side filters, and this is where we're going to manipulate the file extensions into the next task. Okay, in task number 8, I've got the website up and going. It's annex.uploadvulns.thm. This one's going to be doing a server-side filter, focusing on the file extensions filter. And so let's take a look at this page. I've already opened the source code of it, and we see that I don't see any filters here. I don't see them inline linking to inline with the JavaScript there, and I also don't see anything linked to another JavaScript file. So this one's a little bit different. It's kind of like a black box. We don't know the exact filter that's being used. So we're going to have to do a lot more testing on the front end to see if we can understand what kind of a filter that this is running. So let's get started. So let's try to figure out what to do on this web page. It says type help for syntax. So let's just go ahead and type help and see what it says. It says you push select to select a file, and then upload to upload the selected file. And then if we hit chosen, it outputs the name of the chosen file. So let's just see what happens if we put in select and we try to upload our reverse shell. And that's not doing it. I guess we don't need the dash. Let's try that. Okay, just put it without the dash, and let's go over to, let me go to my downloads and have my reverse shell right there. I'm gonna open it. Okay, so it should be chosen. So now let's choose upload. And it says that the file type is invalid. So let's see if we can kind of figure out what other things that we could do. So let's see if we can try a different file type. So I'm going to go back here again. I'm going to push select again. This time I'm going to go and I'm going to try the PNG, the ping file, and I'm going to upload that. And then let's choose to upload after it's been selected. And it says that one was uploaded successfully. So that's cool. We know that the PNG files work and we know that the PHP doesn't. So let's see how we can get past this filter. So now what we know is uploading and able to get bypass the filter. We know what kind of filters in place. Let's get a GoBuster directory scan going on this. Let me see if I can save it from any of the last ones. There we go. And get it running to find out where they are saving these files of ours. So this one we are at annex.uploadVulns. Let's see, hit enter, and we already see that there's one called privacy. So let's go to that page right now. And we see two things are going on here. So not only is our file uploaded, but they are appending the file with a date and timestamp so that we won't have that overwrite problem that we had back in the first task that we were doing in this module. So it is there and it is in privacy, so we know that that's where we're going to have to go. Okay, so let's get back. We want to try to get a PHP file on here so that we can get the reverse shell going on here. So let's try to figure out what we can do to try to make that happen. Okay, so that we know that it is uploading if it gets the file extension that it wants. We want to do PHP for our reverse shell. And in this section, they talk about there's different types of accepted PHP file names. PHP 3, 4, 5, 7, all these ones right here. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to just change the file name to one of these other ones and see if we're going to be able to upload it successfully. So over here at the GoBuster, I'm just going to stop this by Control-Cing out of it. And let me just clear out of this because I need to get my Netcat listener up and running. I got that up and running. And let me go to where I save my reverse shell and let me just rename it. And I'm going to go for, you could go through all these and see which ones work. I'm going to try 5. And so we have that saved as PHP 5. So let's see what happens when we try to upload it now. If we go here, I'm going to go to select. I'm going to go to my downloads where I saved it, PHP 5. Let's open it, and now I'm going to go to upload, and the file was uploaded successfully. So now if I navigate over to the privacy folder, I see my reverse shell right there. I'm going to click on it, and look, I've got it running right there. So let's see where they want us to go to get the flag. I think it is the var/www. So I'm going to change directory into /var/www, and I'm in list, and there we have the flag right there. Cat flag, .txt, and there you have the flag right there. So that wasn't too bad. Let's go on to the next task, bypassing server-side filtering using magic numbers. So for this next task, I've already headed over to magic.uploadvulns.thm, and I've got it up and going here. I've already started a GoBuster scan to try to find out where they are saving the files to. We see that there's one called graphics right here. So since they want graphics, I'm just gonna test this out real quick. Let's actually, before I test it out, let's do the source code. So I'm going to go right click and I'm going to view the page source. And let's see right here. There's a form, upload, submit button. Nope, I don't see any filter here, so it's probably on the server side. So let's just start testing things out. I'm going to select a file. Since it's going to graphics, I'm going to see if it'll actually take this. It's actually a PHP file, but we've renamed it as .png, and I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to upload it. And so I chose that file, reverse shell.png, and I'm going to click upload. I'm going to see what happened. It says GIFs only, please. So this is wanting to receive GIF files, but we want to get a PHP file on there. So how are we going to go about and do that? So let's just see. Oops, my machine's going to expire. So let me just extend the time on that. And I should probably extend the timer on this one over here. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Let's first go and see the GoBuster scan said that graphics is where they're saving everything. So real quick, I'm going to go over there and make sure that that is indeed something that we can access. It says we don't have the ability to access this resource, so that's not good. Let's go see about assets and see if we have the ability to get there. And that's forbidden too. So we're going to have to figure that out, how we're going to be able to go and access our reverse shell once we get it up and running. So since we know that it wants to use GIF files only, what we want to do is, okay, I already have the folders, so I'm just going to Control C out of this and terminate it. Let me just clear so we can get back here, because what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use hex editor. That's something that they tell us to do right up here, to go to the hex editor function. And it wasn't already installed on this box first. I put in hex editor and it said that I needed to install it, and it gave the instructions on how to install it. So I was able to do that. So hex editor. And we want to do that with the, let's just see what it says for the reverse shell that I have. So I have our shell, I had it saved as PHP 5 from the last task, and let's see what it shows. So it shows right over here the PHP coding, and it shows the first 4 digits are what filters usually look at, and these are the codes right there, the 3C, 3F, 70, 68. That's what tells you that it is actually a PHP file. So if we go and open up another one, so I'm going to go Control X to get out of this. If I go to hex editor and I put in the PNG file, that is actually a PHP file, but I just renamed it as PNG. Let's just see what happens with the hex editor of this one. And we see that it has that same code at the beginning. So this is how the server-side filters are able to tell if a GIF file is actually what it says it is. So let's go back to the previous one. Sorry, I just wanted to show you guys how this all works. So I'm going to go back to hex editor. Here, and I'm going to go back to the reverse shell PHP and hit enter. And now what we want to do is we want to edit this to be what the GIF ones are. So we need to do a little bit of research like this. So we need to find magic numbers for GIFs. So I'm just going to put in Google hex editor magic number, and I'm going to put for GIF. And let's see what happens. And they give us the magic number right here. I'm going to go to the actual website so we can see what it looks like here. There we go. And we only need to do the first 4. So it's 47, 49, 46, 38. So let's go back over to here. And let's change this to 46. And it was 47. 47, 49, 46, 38. So that should have been 47, 49, 46, and I think it was 38, but I'm just gonna make sure. Yep, 38. And I'm gonna put in 38, and I'm going to exit and save this. So Control X exits and saves, and we want to save the file. And I'm just going to rename this one as a GIF into the download section. So let's see what happens if I go over to my download section and I go there. I see that it did save that as a GIF. So let's see what happens if we upload that GIF file. Okay, if I go over to my downloads and then I choose that GIF file and I go to open, it's chosen it, and if I go to upload, it successfully uploaded it. So now we need to go and try to find it. So let's see what would happen if we went to that file. Let's go to downloads. Remember this one that's GIF, it's actually a PHP file. So let's see if I rename it back to PHP. Let's see what this server-side filter does. So even though it says PHP, so let me go to here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to my downloads. Actually, this was on the desktop. And I'm going to go to rshell.php. Oops, maybe it was in the download. File. PHP. Okay, so even though the extension says PHP, it's actually saying that it is a GIF file. So let's see if I'm able to upload this one. Select the file, rshell PHP that we've hex edited it to make it look like a GIF file. Open, upload, and it successfully uploaded that. So that is really cool. Let's see how we can actually go run the reverse script now. One step that I missed for you guys, and I'm sorry about that, is we're going to have to re-upload the PHP file that we've converted to look like a GIF file because the hex editor actually puts a code in there that can screw up the reading of the PHP. So I'm going to go back and do the hex editor again for that file, and I'm going to change it. And let's go here and let's see the signature format again. It needs to be 47, 49, 46, 38. So 7, 9, 6, 38. So 47, 49, 46, 38. And I'm going to Control X to save it. And this one I'm going to save as reverse shell .php and save that there. And so now if we go over into my downloads folder and we see the one that we just saved right here, I'm going to open it and you see it put in this coding right there. So it overwrote the first line of code that I had, so we actually need to put that back. So that needs to stay there, but then we need to have the question mark PHP to get that going. I believe that's how it works. Let's see what this one is. Yep, that's what it should say at the beginning, this right there. The open bracket question mark PHP, open bracket question mark PHP. So let's just save that and let's re-upload the new file. Select file, reverse shell.php, open, upload, file uploaded successfully. So now what we can do is, remember we weren't able to get over to the actual images folder, but let's see if we can actually run the actual file. But before we do that, we want to get the netcat listener going. So let me just clear this out. I'm going to get a netcat LVNP on the port that I use is 999. Put whatever port you use. get that listening. So now that it's listening, let's go back to the website and let's put images / reverse shell. Let's go to the actual file itself and hit enter. File not found. Oh, and that's probably because it is appending the files. Actually, I was wrong. If you remember on the GoBuster scan, I had already completely forgotten. It's actually in the graphics folder. So let's go to the end of that. Reverse shell.php, hit enter. And the coding is still screwed up because it has that GIF in there. So we're still going to have to do something to fix that. Sorry about that, but we're learning as we go. Okay, I'm going to try to run the hex editor again for that original file. And I'm going to try to change all the letters that they actually showed. I just did the first 4 because that's what it said in the instructions. But I'm going to do the entire thing right here and see if that makes a difference. So 47, 49, 46, 38, 37, 61. So 796. Okay, so 47, 49, 46, 38, 37, 61. Let's double check that that's correct. 37, 61. That is correct. So I'm going to Control X to exit and save it. And I'm going to do this one as reverse shell 2.php. Let's save that. Let's go back into the folder reverse shell 2.php. Okay, it overwrote the file. So let's see if I put in the, let's see if I just do the question mark PHP, and let's take that out, GIF 87A. Let's just take that out. Let's go to save as. Let's see if we're able to upload this. It should be doing it. So I'm going to try to select the file. I'm doing the reverse shell 2. Sorry if this is getting confusing to you guys. Upload it, and it says GIFs only please. So I'm not able to upload this because it doesn't have that code there, but yet if it doesn't have the code there, it doesn't run correctly. Okay, third time's a charm. Gonna edit it again. 47, 49, 46, 38, 37, 61. Control X to save it. Let's just do this one, reverse -shell.php. Hit enter. Let's go into that file and edit it a little bit because we know we have to at least have that beginning PHP. So this one is reverse shell.php. Let's go like that. I need to put that beginning PHP, the code back in. I wonder if I just comment this out, if that'll work. Let's see if that works. I'm going to save it, reverse shell.php. Let's go out of here, select the shell, reverse -shell PHP, open, upload, and it still says GIFs only. So let's go back into that one, take it out, save it. Let's see if it'll do reverse shell. Let's see if it'll do it now. Open, upload. And the file successfully uploaded. So let's see what happens. Let's put another listener on. And bring this down so we can see what's going on. It's listening. So let's go to the actual file name and see what happens. If we go to graphics, and it was reverse -shell this time. That's the one that I corrected and was able to successfully upload. PHP, hit enter. Okay, that worked. We have it here. So let me get the shell and then I'll review what I did to actually, so cd into the var slash www file. We're there. Let's list. Let's concatenate the flag.txt. And there you have the flag right there. So to review which one actually worked through all of that, if I go to the downloads folders and you see this reverse shell was the one that worked. So what I had to do was hex editor was putting in that it is a GIF right there is the first line of the code. That is important, it is needed, but just needed to enter down and put the beginning of the PHP so that it would work right there. So you need to keep that, but remember to put this in because the hex editor overwrote it, save it, upload it, and then run it, and that was able to successfully get the flag. Sorry about that confusion, but again, I think it helps that we all kind of work through things so you can see a person kind of troubleshooting what doesn't work. So let's go on to the main challenge. This is going to be the harder part where we're going to have to take all of the information that we've learned and put it all together again. Okay, so we're on the final challenge, and this was a bit of a doozy, so I recommend that you take a look at the hints here, and there's a full video walkthrough available here. There's actually a video on YouTube that the creator of this walkthrough, Muirland Oracle, has done to help with this challenge because it was a little challenging for people, it was challenging for me, so I suggest that you take a look at all those, but I'm going to try to kind of give you the quick version right here in this video. So I have the website up and running, and the first thing that I want to do is get a GoBuster scan going so we could look at, what did I do incorrectly there? My wordless file is not in the correct place, so let me try to figure out where it needs to be. I forgot to put in the share folder. Share dash, that should work now. Okay. So we already see a bunch of different folders already. Let's just poke around, see if we're able to get to these. There's content and modules and then admin. That looks kind of interesting. So let's go to the content folder and see if we have access to it. It says page not found. And let's just try admin and see what's going on here. And admin gives us a kind of a portal where we can enter files and it'll take them to the modules directory. So that's interesting to note, but we want to try to figure out where they are actually saving files on this website. So let's see what we can figure out by going to the source code, view page source, and see what's going on here. So looks like they're saving things to assets. Background, it's not really showing us where it is saving things to, but I do see that there is this upload.js script, so it's probably a filter, and we see that it's checking for file size, it's checking the magic number to verify the file, and it's checking for a file extension. It looks like it's looking for JPEGs. So let's go back over to the page, and we still don't know where it's actually saving files. So instead I'm going to go right click and I'm going to go to inspect element, and I'm going to look at the code, and let's see if we go like the background image right there. Where is it actually saving that stuff to? Let's see if we look in the CSS if it's showing us. Let me make this a little bit bigger so that we can see. Where are we? We're in the body, the background. Okay, so if we click on one of these over here for the background, we can see that it is saving it to content.avh. If I right click on copy the URL and I go to another page, I wonder if I'll be able to access it. Okay, so it looks like if we do have the full file extension of something, that it will go to we can actually access the file, so that's going to be important for when we upload our shell for us to be able to later access it. So let's go back, and here I'm just going to close out of this so that we can see. I just want to see what happens if I try to upload a JPEG, but first I need to get one. So I'm just going to do a search for jewelry, and so let's just get an image file. Remember, it had a file size for the filter too, so I just want to get kind of like a small one. Let's just see if this one's pretty small. It's a pretty big one, so this may not get through, but we'll just try it out. So I'm just gonna save the image. I'm gonna save it as rings, and I'm gonna save it. So let's go here and see what happens if I just try to select it in my downloads folder and open it. It says file was successfully uploaded. So it is taking the actual files. And guys, just to let you know, I had the attack box open 2 other times and it wasn't letting me upload the file. So again, if something is not working and you're using the attack box, this doesn't happen with you guys that are using the VPN in your own boxes. But if the attack box isn't working the way that you think it should and the way that you're seeing it in tutorials, just stop it and ramp up another attack box, because it's a little bit finicky on TryHackMe sometimes. So it is receiving our files, but we want to go find the file. So we were able to see the contents folder. So I'm going to go to content and I'm going to put in rings.jpg. That was the name of my file, to see if I'm able to access it. And it says page not found. So what does that tell us here? It tells us that they are appending the file name, or they're changing the file name in some way. So what we want to do is we actually want to go run a different kind of a GoBuster scan, and we want to try to scan and look for JPEG files so that we can kind of see maybe what's going on there. So I'm going to Control-C and stop this because we've already found all of the folders that are going to be important to us, and I'm going to run a different kind of a GoBuster scan. So first, what I need to do is I want to look in that contents folder. So I need to add /content right there. And then I want to search for particular files too. So I'm going to put JPG for JPEG and to see what it finds there. And oops, I forgot. Sorry about that. Ended it. Because we need to use a different word list for this. So back here on the walkthrough, download a task file, and they gave us a word list that we need to use. So I had to copy the contents of that. I put it over here in my clipboard transfer, and I actually have already gone over into Sublime Text on the text box, on the attack box, and I've made this wordlist.txt right there that we're going to use for the purposes of this scan. So let me just close this out right here, and instead of using this file, I am going to use the word list of downloads.wordlist.txt. So let's run this scan of the content folder and of the new word list that they gave us over here in the task files, and let's see what happens. Okay, so it's starting and it's running through that word list, and it's going to see if it finds any files that correspond to the names in that word list, and I'll come back when that is actually done. Sorry about that, guys. Actually, when I modified it to put in the contents folder and I changed the word list, I forgot to actually put the X and JPG at the end, so let's just run this again. Okay, so it's already starting to find the files here. So like if we go to this one, ABH, we should be able to see that. So ABH is right there. Let's see if we're able to find any other ones. Let's just give it some more time and I'll come back. So as it's doing the GoBuster scan for the JPEG files, let's see if any of these are the ones that we uploaded. I'm just going to start from the bottom. Let's see if I can go to /UAD instead. So right here, I'm just going to put /UAD and see what comes up. Nope, that wasn't my file. Let's see the next one. There was SAD. Let's go to that, SAD, and see if that was it. Nope, that wasn't mine either. Then we have this PFS. Let's see if that one's the one by chance. PFS, and that's the one. So I was able to access the file that I'm uploading. So let's go back and look at the source code again. remember we had from the source code, I clicked on this upload, so we do have a client-side filter that we're going to need to get rid of. We're going to have to use burp for that, so we'll get to that in the next moment. But there is one more thing that we should do for this, because we need to find out what kind of a reverse shell is going to work on this website. So on the attack box, they don't have the Wapalizer extension on there, so you can just go to the settings and you could go to add-ons and you could search for another add-on. I'm going to search for the Wapalizer extension, and it's right there. I'm just going to add it to the Firefox on the attack box. Add it, so it is added there and installed. Let me just close these out, and I'm going to go back to the main page and I'm going to refresh it so we can see what's running on this website, so we can understand what kind of a reverse shell that we're going to need. Click on it, I'm okay with that. Okay, so this one's showing that it's running Node.js. This means that the PHP reverse shell that we were using in the past tasks is not going to work here. We need to have a Node.js one. So if you actually Google payload all the things, here, let me scroll up so that you can see. So Google payload all the things Node.js, and you should be able to get to this GitHub page, and it's the reverse shell cheat sheet, and you scroll down here to Node.js and it gives you this Node.js coding right there. And so back on my attack box, I've already gone to Sublime text, and I've already in my downloads folder, I already have this Node.js reverse shell that's up and running. And you're going to want to go in here and change the port number for it, and you're going to want to put your attack box number in there. So I already have that saved and ready to go. So let's see what we can get done, what we're able to get done with the burp suite. So let's go and open up burp. So we have burp up. Let's have the proxy intercept going on. Let's turn on the intercept for this to burp suite. And again, don't just refresh by clicking here. You want to refresh so that it resends the JavaScript. Oh, there's one more thing that we forgot to do in burp suite. Go back to burp suite, and on the proxy options, you want to go into intercept client requests, and it's saying does not match, and there's JS query files in there. You want to go in there and you want to remove that. So click on that and click edit, because you want it to show the JavaScript. So we're going to remove this little bit of coding. It's probably going to be hard for you to see, but it actually is the up arrow JS and then the $sign and the line, the bar after it. So you're going to want to remove all of that for that section for the JavaScript, and you want to hit OK. So let's go back over to the intercept, and we have the intercept going on to burp. And again, do not click the reload. You're going to want to click Control F5 to reload the page. And then let's go back to burp. And so the Joule.upload vulns, we don't necessarily need that. We can forward that on. This is just a jQuery one. We can forward that on. Another jQuery, we can forward that on. And here is the upload.js filter that we want to take a look at. So we're going to right click and we're going to do the intercept of that. And we're just going to forward on through the backgrounds. And now it's showing us that file for the upload. This is showing us the actual response from the server for that upload filter. So we're going to scroll down, and this whole section right here for checking the file size, checking the magic number, this whole function that it wants to load this event, we're just going to delete that, and we're going to forward it through, and then forward through everything else. So now that we're there and we've gotten that upload filter gone, let's just see if we can select and upload. let's turn off the proxy now, and let's turn off the proxy now, and let's see if we can upload. And again, I'm having problems with this website where it's not letting me do what I know it should let me do, because I have done this before. So if you guys run into this problem, I'm not going to edit this out because I know some of you are probably going to be running into the same problem as I am. So just don't worry about that. I'm going to close the browser and reopen it and see if I can do this again. All right, let's see if we can do this again. I'm going to turn the intercept back on. I'm going to turn it back on in Burp Suite. I'm not going to do the refresh there. I'm going to go Control F5 to resend it with the JavaScript. I'm going to forward through this first one for upload vulns. I'm looking for that upload.js one. So I'm going to forward through the jQuery, forward through the jQuery, and then here we go, the upload.js. I'm going to go right click, do the intercept response to this request, and then I'm going to send it on, forward on, and here we have the actual response. So now I'm going to go down here to this section, and I'm going to remove that filter, and I'm going to forward it on, and then just forward on all the rest. And we could just actually turn the intercept off now, and we could turn off the intercept, and let's see if I'm able to upload, and it's not letting me do it. Okay, I had an idea. What if we clear the cache on this? So let me go to Preferences, and I forget where you clear the cache in the browser. I think it's under Privacy and Security. Cookies and site data. I'm going to clear it. Cached web content. Clear that out. Clear now. All right, let's go back to it and see if I can do it. All right, again, I'm not going to edit this out because I think some of you guys are probably having the same problem that I am. So I'm going to click on the settings. I'm going to go back to Preferences. I'm going to go back to Privacy and Security. I'm going to go down to Cookies and Site Data, and I'm going to go to Clear the Data so that I can clear the cache and the cookies. Clear now. There we go. Let's reset the page. Now that we've reset the page, let's go back and try to do this on Burp one more time. Burp, turning it on in Foxy Proxy, going back to the Burp Suite right now. Intercept on. Now I'm going to do Control F5 to refresh this page. Okay, so upload vulns, let that go through. Upload vulns the jQuery, let that go through. Backgrounds go through, and now we're at the upload.js. That's the one that we want to do the intercept, get the response from the server. Forward it through now. Forward through the jQuery, forward through backgrounds, and then here we go to the actual JavaScript that we want to get rid of all of this. Just break that right there and forward this on through, forward on through, forward on through, forward on through. Okay, turn the intercept off. Now that we're here, select upload, select shell.jpg, click to open, file successfully uploaded. Okay, it did it. So I'm going to get this Burp Suite out of the way. So now we want to try to find out what it named the file as. So remember we ran this script right here to find the things of the contents folder. So I'm just gonna run this again so we could try to get the name of the file, what it got appended to. So I'm just gonna run that again and I will come back when it's done. Okay, so it's already brought back some files that are different. So I'm gonna pull this down so you can see the results of the previous scan and the results of this one. So this was the results of the previous scan. You see that there were 5 right here, and now we have 6, and it looks like the new one is this one titled SHI. So let's try to go access that file. So if we just go to content/shi.jpg, what does it show? It shows it cannot just be displayed because it contains errors. So let's just go back here. And remember there was an admin page. So let's just see what happens if we go to that admin page. We're going to try to do it there, but first we need to get our Netcat listener going. So I have nc/lvnp, and 999 is my port that I always listen to, so I've got it listening right there. So let's see what we're going to do right here to get this shell up and running. So in here, remember, we've learned in previous modules that if you go ... it gets you to go back a directory. So it'll get us out of that modules directory right here, and it'll go into content / and then I have shi.jpg and hit enter, and look, I've got a connection coming right now. Connection received. So let's see where we need to go. It says from the var/HMI. So let's see if I can, let's just see if it does who am I. And it shows that I am root. So what if we just change directories to var/www. All right, I finished it. Conclusion, it's just telling you, reminding you to go back, and you want to run this script in your terminal to make sure that you return your computer back so it's not doing that relay anymore to the websites. So I'm just going to paste that into there, and there we go. All right, that was a doozy, but we got through it. I hope you got through it as well. If you have any comments, questions, or criticisms, put them in the comment section below. If you're running into any trouble, put it in the comment section below, and I'll try to pop in and give you some extra help. I hope that you're able to get through it. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.